everybody, Dr. Laina Schulman from Pure Health, chiropractor for 28 years, located here in London, Ontario. And today we're gonna go through my favorite 5 stretches to do if you're stuck at your desk for long periods of time, you're stuck in your office, to help relieve some of the tension so you don't feel too yucky by the end of the day. So the first one is really just a spine lengthener. So all that I'm gonna have you do is sit up properly in your chair. I'll link below a couple of our videos that we've made to show you how to sit in your chair properly. But for now, just keep your body weight a little bit more forward. And then I'm gonna use my hands and I'm gonna put them down on the chair. And with my hands, I'm actually gonna create some pressure down into the chair. That's gonna allow me to pull my shoulders down as I pull my sternum and my head up towards the ceiling, creating some length. So you really wanna make sure that your buttocks are really grounded down in the chair, so you're not lifting yourself all the way up. Your buttocks are gonna stay down, and as you put pressure, it just looks like this. So I can pull my head and my sternum up. Just makes you wanna take a deep breath when you do that. So you're growing a little bit taller, and you can just stay in this position, take a few breaths, relax, and then do it again. So I'm not squeezing my shoulder blades together, I'm simply pushing down. My shoulders are coming away from my ears as my head is growing taller. So that's my first one, which is just a great one to stretch things all the way back out. While you're in that position, another great thing to do is you can take your head from side to stretch. So keep feeling like there's someone just pulling on the top of your head as you're doing this, really growing taller as the shoulders come down. So that's a first great stretch. The second stretch that we're gonna go through is about how to stretch out this area that gets so tight when we're working at our desks. And so first and foremost, what we wanna do is we wanna anchor the shoulder when we do that because we wanna create length this way. So you can do that a few ways. You can sit on your hand, you can grab the bottom of your chair, you can put your arm behind your back, or my favorite is actually you're gonna clasp your arms behind your back and you're gonna take them over to one hip. So I've clasped my hands, and all that I'm gonna do is I'm pulling them over to my left hip, just holding this arm here, making sure it's not creating too much pressure in the front of my arm. So you might have to modify this and just grab the chair if you have a really tight shoulder from working at your desk all day. And then from this position, all that I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my head and I'm gonna stretch it to the side. So hold this for about 5 or 6 deep breaths. Then the next thing you're gonna do in this position is you're gonna look over the shoulder. Again, you can see how that's opening the right side of my neck. And then of course, last but not least, you can do the same thing looking down. So just play with all these positions. You'll definitely find some of them will be much more of a stretch than others. And then of course, you're just gonna switch sides, do the same thing. So you can do the side, you can go down, the whole time feeling like something is pulling this top of your head much, much higher. So you're growing taller through the top of your head. And this shoulder is coming down, making this nice and open. Breathing as you do this, again, for about 5 or 6 breaths, relax, and then repeat. The last 3 stretches have to do with our lower body. So this next one that I'm gonna demonstrate for you is absolutely crucial and the one that's most often forgotten, and it's for the front of our hip or our hip flexor. So most people get very, very tight in through this area when they've been sitting at their desk for hours on end, and it's a very hard area to stretch unless you want to get up and lunge or do something like that. But from your chair, the best way to stretch it is actually, I'm going to have you turn sideways in your chair. You're going to grab onto the back of your chair for some support. And then all I'm going to do is I have one of my buttocks actually hanging off the end of the chair, and I'm going to take one leg back. So you can see while I'm doing this, what a nice stretch I'm getting in through here. If you're not as flexible, you'll keep your knee a little bit forward. You can grab the back of your chair around. You can grab it this way. And then all that I'm allowing to do is I'm getting this area to open up. This is also a great way to stretch this area if you tend to have sore knees and you don't want to put your knee on the ground, because you can see I'm very well supported in the chair. So that is a really important one to open up that area after you've been sitting in your desk for far too long. Of course, do both sides, same idea, holding it for 30 to 40 seconds, breathing, relax, and then repeat. The fourth stretch that I'm gonna recommend for everybody is the one so many people have seen before, the Piriformis, or what's also known as the figure 4 stretch. So very briefly, how we do this one properly is we're gonna sit forward so our spine is really nice and tall. And then I'm gonna have you take one of your legs and actually cross the ankle over the knee. So if you can sit like this, that's great. If not, if you're less flexible, you can certainly take the bottom leg straight. You can see that doesn't require me to lift this leg quite as high. And then all that you're going to do from this position, first and foremost, is make sure you're sitting tall. Make sure it hasn't caused you to do this. You'll lose the stretch and you'll just cause a strain in your low back if you allow yourself to slump. So really pull yourself taller. Pull that sternum and the top of the head up. We're constantly trying to create length in your spine whenever we're doing any of these stretches. Make sure you're breathing. And then if you want to make the stretch even better, all that you're going to do is you're going to come forward as if you're hinging. So there's no rounding, collapsing forward over. What you're going to do is you're just going to bring yourself forward, almost like you're a door. I like to say to my patients, just hinging forward slightly. And you'll really feel that stretch increase in this area. Make sure there's no strain in your shoulders and you're not leading with your nose while you're doing this. Your shoulders haven't come up to your ears. And another way to do it, if you want it even deeper, is actually just turn about 20 degrees towards your foot and then just lean forward that way. Again, you can see I'm not collapsing. If you find yourself needing to collapse, you're pushing too hard, and just back the stretch up. So that's our fourth stretch. And then last but not least, I'm going to show you how to stretch out your hamstrings from your desk. So you can do this if you're very flexible. You could certainly put something on the ground to put your foot on, but I'm just going to demonstrate it on the ground. Hamstrings get super tight while we've been sitting too long. And that not only causes hamstring pain, but it also causes things like plantar fasciitis, low back pain, sciatica. So keeping them nice and supple is really important. So all that we're going to do is take one leg and we're going to stretch it out. And I'm just sitting on the edge of my chair. So as I'm stretching my leg out, if I'm flexible enough, I'm going to pull my toes back slightly, which is going to deepen the stretch. And you may even feel it in the calf and likely in the back of the knee. From here, you're just going to put your hands on your thighs for support. And again, we're going to do that thing where we're going to hinge forward and not collapse forward. You're just going to come forward slightly, and you'll probably feel that nice pull up the back of your leg. Putting your foot on a stool or a couple books, if that's easier for you. You're just going to breathe. Again, shoulders stay away from the ears. We're staying really relaxed through all of this. And come on back up. So if you do take a stretch break, those are the 5 that I would recommend that you really focus on. That's going to target a lot of the areas that are getting very strained from sitting at your desk. If you're noticing you're getting more headaches or pains or anything like that, low back pain, frozen shoulder, we're seeing so much of it these days with people at their desks for too long. You're welcome to give our office a call and just mention that you saw this video, and myself or Dr. Neely, the other chiropractor in the office, will be happy to check you out at no fee and just let you know if there's something that we could do for you to help get you some relief. Other than that, if you like this video, it would be really nice if you click like or subscribe to our channel, and we hope you have a wonderful day.